Hey guys, and welcome to another GameXplain discussion. I'm your host, Derek Bittner, and I'm joined today by Johnny of Some Call Me Johnny, Gareth from Find the Computer Room, and Matt of Tales Channel to discuss Sonic's 25th anniversary and what we can expect from Sega. So let's get started. Well guys, obviously this is a big year for Sonic. Most anniversaries are. They try to push the Hedgehog and really show that, we love Sonic and all that. And looking back, we've had some pretty decent anniversaries and some god-awful ones. 10th anniversary, we got Sonic Adventure 2.
Terrible.
15th anniversary, we got Sonic 2006.
Amazing.
Masterpiece.
And the 20th anniversary, we got Sonic Generations.
Who?
Yeah. So, I guess the big question here is, what do you guys want to see from Sega for Sonic's 25th anniversary?
At the risk of making this video 5 minutes long, I just want a good game.
Good night, everybody!
Obviously there are a lot of options to consider when it comes to, especially in Sonic's case, because he can't make up his freaking mind, because there's so many play styles to Sonic when you have to consider future games, like, does it play like Adventure, Heroes, Unleashed, Lost World, boom. It's like, good lord. It's like, this is the mess Sonic has gotten himself into over the past 10 to 15 years. And I'm hoping... Do we want to bring up the rumor mill? As a basis for this discussion? It's kind of the reason why we're here, right?
Yeah.
But, Sonic Adventure 3 rumors are literally a dime a dozen. It's the one game everybody wants to happen in terms of 3D games, and whatever. If it happens, it happens. I would love to see another attempt at an adventure-style game, because I think the full potential of that formula has yet to be reached. I wouldn't say Adventure 2 was where it peaked. No. I would say yes. 06 clearly had the right idea. On a serious note, Sonic's level design in 06 was something I will defend. It's just everything else around it is broken and doesn't work as a result. But if they would like to continue something they had going with 06 or Adventure and Adventure 2, I'm down for that. I would love to see that. Just cut out the fad. So many different play styles. Just make it one strong, cohesive adventure, and I'm absolutely sold. That's all I want. Is that so hard to ask for? I don't think it is. Shut up, Matt. Why don't we bring him here?
Are you familiar with Sonic Team Johnny? Of course that's too much to ask.
It just doesn't feel like it is.
You can't bring logic, Johnny, to a discussion about Sonic games. Logic has no place here.
Nope. But what about you, Gareth? What do you want to see?
I want to say it's something I've talked about for a while, and because I only bring this up because it's a anniversary year, and anniversary years tend to be when what I'm about to say is kind of redundant, but what I was about to say was anniversary years tend to be when Sega really put out the nostalgia card, but they've been putting it out non-stop for the past 6 years, so forget that. But yeah. I would love, in the vein of other franchises, this is something Sonic/Sega have never really done. I don't necessarily want Sonic Adventure 3. I would love a proper from the ground up remake of SA1/SA2. Because I think those games, like SA1 is a game that I love. It's a game that I fully admit I am blinded by. I have my nostalgia glasses. I know it's aged terribly. It's a fun as hell game to play. It's aged terribly. SA2, as everyone knows, is a terrible game. Although she can't say that in front of May, he gets upset. SA2 is a great game, isn't it, Matt? Best game ever made.
10 out of 10, dude.
But those I think that is something that, along with SA 3, I've seen a lot of fans over the years want those. I know when the 3DS first came up, that was a thing. A lot of people like SA1 on 3DS. I would love it though. On the PS for Xbox One, I'm sure the next Nintendo console, whatever, the NX, whatever it's called, give us a SA1, SA2 remake in one game, and I would play the hell out of that. Just ignore the Chow Garden, because no one likes them.
I either hear people love the Chow Garden or hate it completely. I'm indifferent.
I never played it. I have no, if put it in there if fans like it. I just, apart from drowning the little so and so's, I don't really give a damn about the Chow Garden.
Well, that is an interesting point. Is like we've never seen Sonic Team ever remake any of their games at all. I mean, the closest
just remaster.
Yeah, just remaster them and, like for Sonic
Dude, what
CD
are you talking about?
Sonic
Genesis is a perfect.
I think that's like one of those rare games that you can classify as a D-master.
Well, you know what? The one that might count actually is SA1DX. That kind of, maybe because I only said it because they actually went in and remade models and stuff. They actually, aside from things like SA2 Battle, SA2 HD, that's just kind of a port. You know, trying to kind of make it look better. But SA1DX, they actively remade stuff for that game. So I'm not sure. Derek, you may know more than I, but I'm not sure if you would class that as a remake or not, or if it's still just a enhanced port. But either way, give me a proper full-on HD remake without, but keeping the terrible animations. That keeps it part fun.
What about you, Matt?
I get scared whenever I talk about this.
Tell Sky Patrol 2.
That's why you're owner of Tails channel, not Sonic's channel.
Of course.
That's why you always be only second best.
It's going to be player 2, Matt. Player 2.
I hate you. But anyways, I don't want to open Pandora's box here and talk about Sonic Adventure 3. Because that's already beating on a dead horse, so I just don't want to talk about that. What I do want to talk about is, like, I don't care what they do, honestly. I do want a good game. Boost, Adventure, Genesis, I don't care, really. I just want it to be... I want the gimmicks to go. The gimmicks need to go. It seems like every time there's a new Sonic game, they just do this gimmick. And they try so hard on this gimmick, and they only focus on that simple gimmick. And then just focus on that too much, to where the rest of the game isn't as polished as that gimmick. And even in Lost World, the gimmick was parkour, and that wasn't even polished that well, in my opinion. But I don't know, I just want a good game that really just focuses on one thing, like I guess Mario does. I don't want it to be like a repetitive game or anything like that. I just want it to be good and polished. I don't know.
Yeah. I was sort of a lapsed Sonic fan where I stopped after the Genesis games and then didn't come back until post 2006 when I started hearing about the games getting better, and I started exploring some of the older games like Sonic Adventure 2 and whatnot. But I remember as a kid when I first tried the original Sonic Adventure, I just could not get the hang of the controls. They felt too loose to me. I felt like I was flying everywhere. I never felt like I was in true control of Sonic. But when I played Sonic Generations and that boost formula type gameplay, I really enjoyed that. I felt like I had firm control of Sonic. I knew what I was doing, and Generations is by far my favorite 3D Sonic. I love what they did with it. Now I know that they can't. It's not a good idea to do the Generations 2 type thing.
Every 5 years, a new generation.
Yeah, exactly. Throw in a couple new levels here.
It's a chemical plant Act 2, yeah, okay.
Have modern Sonic running through Cliff's excavation site? Dude.
Perfect. But yeah, I think most people will agree that Sonic was at his peak in 2 points. That was, 3 points really. The Genesis days, which may or may not happen, they already sort of milked that for the original Generations, and the adventure gameplay, and then the boost gameplay when they finally refined that with Generations. So I'd like to see them focus on either the adventure gameplay and really making that stand out, and I'd be down for a remake or just a good a refined version of that, because Sonic Team has proven that they can make a good game. They've done it many times before, and many times in the Sonic franchise, they have made excellent games in each formula. We'll leave out Lost World since they've only done that once, and they could refine it potentially. I don't see them going back to that though. But if they focused on just one of these playstyles, I think they could really nail it down and have something unique and fun and just, something everybody just sort of goes to. Look at colors. It was simple. The only thing it added was the wisps. Yet everybody loved that game because it was focused. And I think
it knew what it wanted to do.
Exactly. If they just focus, they'll be in great shape. And I think that's the biggest problem. It's when Sonic Team stretches themselves out too thin, they lose that focus and it becomes sort of marred and just kind of crap.
Well, it's weird that you say now, because Sonic Team ironically actually has like a handful of different teams within it that work on different games. It's like the A Team. I don't want to call them this, but you have the A Team who work on most of the main series games, like the adventure games, like Generations, 06, what have you. And then you have, I guess, I don't want to call them the B Team because they made Colors, and that's my favorite game in the franchise. So B Team is A Team for me, but like the B Team that made like Colors, Lost World, what have you. And to go back to Johnny's earlier point about the leak, there's apparently two Sonic games coming out this year. Sonic Adventure 3 made by the A Team, big adventure style gameplay, 3D game, what have you. And then apparently the B Team is working on a 2D game called Sonic Genesis : the
Origin of Chaos.
Origin of Chaos, which apparently will involve time travel and going back in time, obviously, and like learning the origins of the Chaos Emeralds, what have you. Which, to me, that's kind of like I used to wonder like where they came from, but to me, I think it's been so long that any like origin they give the Chaos Emeralds to me would just be stupid, and I don't care. I don't really care where that came from. But so it's kind of weird how you say they're stretching themselves too thin. This could be, I think, probably the first year ever there's been two Sonic Team made games released in 1 year.
Potentially, if this rumor is correct. I looked at this rumor.
If it's true.
I don't buy this rumor at all. This is too much pie in the sky type stuff. There's no way that rumor is a thing.
Well, the only thing to me that kind of maybe leads, if it is true, the fact that it's a 2D only, to me states it'll probably be on a handheld, because to be fair, most times there's a big Sonic game come out, there is either a 2D version or a 2D spin-off game like it. So if it is true, I would probably guess that the Sonic Genesis, which after Sonic Genesis, why in God's name would you use the term Sonic Genesis game for a Sonic game, you idiots?
Because it's a great game.
Matt, shut up.
That's why your channel's dead, Matt. It'll probably end up being on the 3DS or maybe the iPhone, because they have had a pretty successful track record of iPhone games. Sega currently. Everyone loves that Sonic Runners, right, Matt?
Oh, please.
God, get the Hedgehog!
Oh, no.
What about instead of a handheld, what if they just did a digital game? Sort of like a smaller title for, that you could just download, a download-only game, I guess.
Like the Sonic 4 series.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, that could work. I mean, because they had, I know a lot of people liked them, but I think financially, at least Episode 1 was a very successful. I think Episode 2 not as much, but from what I understand, they were pretty successful games, so I am surprised they haven't done that again in a while.
If it's taken them this long to release Episode 3, though, I don't think it's going to happen.
Oh no, I think Episode 3 is dead. I mean, I think kind of like SA3 at this point. Episode 3 is just a name that people want.
The thing is, though, I think they would totally name something Sonic Adventure 3 if it meant selling units. Because again, Sonic Adventure 4. God, I'm already jumping 20 years ahead. Sonic the Hedgehog 4 was 16 years after Sonic the Hedgehog 3. We're around that time where Adventure came out. Maybe this is Sonic Team's time to start milking the Adventure nostalgia. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How Generations was milking the Genesis nostalgia, I'm thinking now let's go to the Adventure well and start milking Adventure.
Jody, you say that, this year, is, as we said, it's the 25th anniversary. There was a Sega, like a Sonic Team event earlier, like a little while ago, where Sega kind of outlined some of their anniversary plans. And one of them does involve a live Sonic Adventure concert. So I think was it like a few years ago, they had on the 20th anniversary they had they re-released like the SA1, SA2 soundtracks. Like last year, they released all the vocal songs for SA1 and SA2 together. So I mean, I think Sega knows that what kind of the kind of power, for lack of a better word, the adventure name has towards Sonic fans. Although I would imagine, part of me, maybe this is me just being dopey, but part of me kind of hopes that Sega knows that, because we've all been over it. We all know it's 06 at some point. Probably most likely was going to be called SA3, and part of me kind of hopes that Sega were like, we can't tarnish Adventure 3's name, so let's tarnish the name of the game that started the franchise.
Yeah, it's actually kind of funny that they didn't use the Adventure moniker for Unleashed, because the Japanese name of that game was Sonic World Adventure.
It was, but to be fair, they've used. I mean, it's like Sonic Rush Adventure. They have used Adventure.
That is true.
Oh, you know, as Matt's favorite game, Tails Adventure. They have used Adventure quite a lot.
It is my favorite game. I think though, Tracker, or you know Liam, right?
I think Tracker and all of his damn fakes.
I think he has that book, which has the Sonic Anniversary book they released, and I think it says in there, or I may be completely wrong, that Sonic Unleashed or Sonic World Adventure was supposed to be Sonic Adventure 3.
Yeah, well, I think there's, again, some of this may just be scuttlebutt you read on the internet, but I swear I've read reports where up until that, like, pretty much every new game started with the working title of Sonic Adventure 3. Like, apparently Heroes, even though obviously it's nothing like Adventure, and they purposely went back to a more Genesis/Mega Drive style of a game. Apparently that was Sonic Adventure 3. Apparently the original working title for Shadow the Hedgehog was something like Sonic Adventure 3: Shadow of a Hedgehog. So I think internally Sega just like, we gotta at some point we'll use this game and then maybe we'll sell more than 100,000 copies. Maybe.
Which I believe they will totally do in a heartbeat. And you know what? I
give them props for not milking it for going this long without slapping that name on a game.
Yeah, absolutely. But now I think now it's like the emergency, like, break in case of emergency sort of lever, because after Boom.
Yeah.
I mean, damn.
Also, Johnny, I think the main thing, they've just been waiting for 100p to get out of jail. Might have an adventure game or some of his raps.
We're waiting just for you. Will you do the honors and break the emergency glass 100p?
Hashtag 100p is free. Yes, thank you.
They will totally use Adventure 3 if it meant selling a lot of copies, and because people will eat it up. I mean, I'm not saying that I don't mean that as a demeaning way, because I'll eat it up too, because it's Adventure 3. It's just what people have been talking about for years on end. And the day after it comes out, say this is Adventure 3, people will start talking about Adventure 4. Like the next day after, who cares? But this has literally been a thing for a long time, and in my opinion, there's no better time than now than to finally cash in on that name, because I think at this point Sonic needs it, and the 25th anniversary and all, and I think it'll just get everybody on board. It's really weird when we go a whole year and a half without a Sonic release, like a mainstream Sonic release. You really start to feel like a part of my soul is missing.
Although, I'll be honest with you guys, I don't know about you guys, but I kind of enjoyed that year off. I don't mean that in a I'm glad Tails channel is dead kind of way. I'm like, it's good
Dude, you're wrong. We got some great Sonic Runners updates. I mean, come on, man. No. But here, the thing is, I don't know. Just imagine if they, released Sonic Adventure 3, right? And then it was Rise of Lyric bad. It was just so bad. I don't know. I feel like the reason why Sonic Adventure 3 hasn't been, a thing is because there's so many expectations that come with the name that everyone has individually. You may, want it a certain way. You may want certain characters. And if Sega doesn't deliver, then you personally may not like the game. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the way I look at that is that you can't please everybody. And you're going to kill yourself trying to please everybody. So just make the game.
But imagine if the game was just like really, really, really bad. Would that?
I know. Then people will call it Sonic 06
Sonic?
too.
Wait. To be fair though, the adventure name was already solid by SA2, so.
10 out of 10 game Gareth. Come on.
Yeah. Well, I think as we touched on a little bit, this is a prime time for that sort of thing. At least an adventure remake, because the games are legitimately nostalgic for people now. People grew up with those games and they played those as kids. You know, I played the originals as a kid, so Generations just hit that perfectly for me to just have that like classic Sonic gameplay mixed in with modern Sonic, and you know, I was prime target for that. And if they can do that same sort of thing where they just focus in on that adventure group, the people who always like, if they'd only go back to the adventure gameplay, it'd be so much better. If they can pull it off, it'd be great. People would just eat it up. And I at the very least, I think a remaster or a remake or something to that effect, like a remake is a full like recreation of the game to me. A remaster is something along the lines of Wind Waker HD, where they tighten up some, like make things look better, but also tighten up the controls, make things, you know, a little bit better.
Yeah, when I think remake, I think Resident Evil remake, which was about as remake as you can remake. Yeah, remake. I'm totally down with an SA1 remake, more than SA2, you know, because I think level design is better.
Yep.
You know, I never
suck it, Matt.
But because I think about like how on board I would be with that. You know what my reference point is in this generation? The Ratchet and Clank game.
I was just gonna say that. If Ratchet and Clank can get a remake, why the hell can't SA1 get a remake?
That game looks so good. Oh my!
Ratchet and Clank on PS4 looks so gorgeous.
I played it at E3 too. It was so great.
Yeah.
It was
just the idea of Sonic Adventure with that graphic style,
Johnny,
that fleshed out. I'm already pitching a tent. No, I'm
guys, SA1 remake, fully powered Hedgehog engine.
Yeah.
I think I need a cigarette because I'm spent. Although, you know what, Johnny, I want to actually bring up something. And you know, the Ratchet and Clank remake is obviously going hand in hand with the movie, and something that we haven't heard about in about a year is that, you know, because we haven't heard otherwise from Sega yet. There is still apparently a Sonic movie coming out this year.
Oh yeah, the one from Sony, yeah.
Yeah, well, you know, it's weird though, because there was a leak earlier, I think like sometime last year, first at TSSC, that said that apparently the plan was the Sonic Team A team were working on a movie adaptation, which it would make sense going with what Ratchet and Clank's doing, and I'm not sure if they're still making the Sly Cooper film, if there's a Sly Cooper game going in hand with that. But you know, if there is a movie coming out, I'd be surprised if we don't see some kind of game tie-in. Unless the movie is going to be called Sonic Adventure 3, which I don't. You wanted SA3? Here it is in movie form. Up yours.
Now get out of my bed. And never call it again.
Get out of my Ferrari, said Yuji Naka. Never come back. But yeah, speaking of the movie, because we haven't heard anything aside from the fact that we know it's been written and worked, and there hasn't been an official cancellation. What do people think? Do you think it's still, if it's coming out this year, unless this is just the most secret movie ever being assembled? I think it's unlikely, unless they've already started production. It's unlikely to be out this year.
Oh, they're just waiting for that Super Bowl airtime.
There we go. No, to me, it's sort of like, how many years has it been that they've been trying to get an Uncharted movie made? You know, it's sometimes these video games movies just do not come out. Like, they'll announce it, they'll try to get people hyped for it, and then nothing comes of it. And to me, like, I don't even know how long it's been or when it was supposed to come out, but I have completely forgot about this Sonic movie, and to me, it's just a non-thing.
To be fair, it was only announced a year ago. This isn't like something that's been in limbo for years. It was literally, I think it was announced in like February, and they were like, it'll be out in 2016. And that's literally, aside from that one press release, there's been nothing else said about it whatsoever.
Which means we can start seeing teasers for that as early as April, I would say, because normally that's how these things go with Sonic games. They're teased as early as April or May, and they're released in November.
Yeah.
So that could hold true for the movie as well.
I just want to see the trailer, because it's, you know, the animation's being made by the same people who did the Sonic Unleashed opening.
Oh, Mars Planet. My boys at Mars Planet.
Oh, they're beautiful. So I really want to see how this looks, because they did say it's a live action CGI, you know, crossover thing. So I don't know how that's going to play out. I really hope that, you know, it's kind of like, I don't really have an example. Do you guys like know any like really,
besides the obvious Smurfs, Alvin and the Chipmunks?
yeah, I guess.
All of which done by Sony, which, boy, is that filled with hope.
I mean, I didn't want to say that because those movies scare me. Road Trip is the best.
Road Trip slaughtered Force Awakens and Open the Night. But the thing about this, unlike a lot of other video game movies where it just seems like film producers just buy the rights and the game companies have no involvement, which explains things like the Mario Brothers movie. Let's never speak of it again. But apparently in this one, because Mars the Planet is a Sega-owned company, and they are they aren't just doing the CG, they're a production company. They're helping in the production of the game. To me, it's like there's people from Sega actively working on this movie, if it still comes out. My only thing is, my two biggest things are, I don't want them to pull a Ratchet and Clank and replace game actors. I mean, admittedly, they kept Ratchet and Clank in the main ones. Like, I think Ratchet and Clank and Quark are the same as in the games, but for the movie release, they brought in some Hollywood actors to like fill in some of the other roles. I don't want that. And the only thing that kind of not upsets me or angers me or like makes me worried, but if it's going to be live action, I hope Eggman's still CG, because if I have to see Dr. Eggman on the screen once again, not voiced by Mike Pollock, I'm gonna cry. I just watched Wreck-It Ralph again yesterday, and I cried because Mike Pollock, you can't hear Eggman in the bad guy meeting. I want to hear Mike Pollock say, "I'm bad, but that's good."
What if we have Mike Pollock in a Dr. Eggman costume in the movie?
I don't know. I think the live-action Eggman Eddie LeBron film was heavily underutilized.
Yeah.
What accusation? You know what? Screw it. Who needs a Sega-made Sonic film? We have Eddie LeBron's classic.
Yes.
What accusation?
I'm so sorry, Derek.
No, it's okay. It's no, I just that movie was awful. I watched it. I'm like, I never watched this Mega Man film, but I watched a Sonic film. Like, people were excited about this guy. This is crap.
This is horrible.
I mean, I know he's like doing his like as a fan film and all that, but still.
Derek, next time we need to get drunk and watch the Mega Man film. It's so bad.
Oh God.
It's so bad.
I guess that really sort of sums up our thoughts. At the very least, all of us just want a good game, whether it's of the adventure variety, of the boost variety, or any variety, really. I think that's what we all want, and I don't know. I guess to wrap this up, do you guys think that Sega can deliver?
Hopefully.
Yeah, they have in the past.
They have in the past. I'll defend Generations, Colors, and
I may get hate for this, but I didn't hate Rise of Lyric.
I didn't either. To me,
it's not a great game,
you
but
monster!
it's okay.
Part of the problem, the both of you.
I got a lot of flack for my review because I just said, I looked at it as like, okay, this obviously isn't a Sonic game, but as a platformer, it's completely forgettable.
Give me a link to that video. I'll dislike it right now.
Okay. You go look it up and you can do that.
But that would be giving him a view.
I watched your review and you're like stabbed in the heart.
I know.
It's like, this isn't
Derek was just like, all right, nerds, it's a game. Get over it.
guys, what are you talking about? Sonic Boom obviously plays just like Sonic Adventure.
Obviously.
Thank you, Bay Stephen Frost.
It's the true Sonic Adventure 3.
All right. Well, I think that covers it for our Sonic discussion. So thank you guys for watching. And if you like this video, be sure to like us on Facebook and Twitter at GameXplain. And Johnny, where can they find you at?
As always, you can find me on youtube.com/somecallmejohnny in the middle of my Metal Gear marathon right now, and I'm looking forward to giving the likes of Ghost Babel and Portable Ops some attention for my next video, so catch it there.
Very nice. And Gareth, what about you?
You can find me in the trash can. You can find me find the computer room. You can find that on the YouTubes and the Facebooks and Twitters and everywhere else except in your hearts.
We'll love you someday.
Someday. when SA3 is released, that's when I finally get love.
That's when you can have my love. All right, and Matt, where can they find you at?
I am Sir Matt, the owner of Dead's channel. You can find me at Tails channel. My channel's pretty dead. I apologize, but I do Sonic news updates. I'm sorry, you probably don't want to check it out
They can at least follow you on Twitter for your Sonic thoughts.
Yeah, for the dankest memes of the session.
Perfect. All right. And of course, stay tuned to GameXplain for more on Sonic the Hedgehog and other things gaming too. Until next time, guys. Bye.